from the studios of Watchmen Broadcasting on the banks of the Savannah River, it's Club 36 with Dorothy and Russell Spalding. Tonight, uplifting ministry, testimonies, and live music, sharing the gospel to the CSRA and beyond. And now, your hosts for Club 36, Dorothy and Russell Spalding.
Well, welcome to Club 36. We're going to have a wonderful time today. Right now, we have with us Amanda and Paul and Pico. And I'm so glad to have you all here. From Haiti, you're missionaries to Haiti.
Yes. I'm a missionary to Haiti. My husband is really my support system, but we live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
You do? Okay. Mm-hmm. So tell me, I want to ask this question because you hear it on the news all the time. Mm-hmm. There's a certain foundation that you hear about on the news that says that they helped Haiti big time. Is that true? I mean, I want to know from the horse's mouth. Is it true?
Okay, the horse's mouth. No.
Because you're there.
Yes, I've been working in Haiti since 2008, so I was there before the earthquake. I have seen absolutely nothing done. I was just in touch with a fellow missionary. I go up to a church camp called Camp Syker in Ohio, and I was there in August, and there was a missionary there that was from Haiti, and he informed me at the time, he said, Amanda, it's so bad in Port-au-Prince. There's still 600 to 700,000 displaced Haitians, and they're living in the blue tarps that Samaritan's Purse brought, which is great that Samaritan's Purse brought those down. But they were starting to disintegrate. I mean, I don't think they're supposed to last 6 years, and worse off,
6 years.
The blue light that's coming off of the tarps was actually blinding the Haitians, and some of them had been losing their vision.
Oh my goodness. So, and nothing else has been done for them?
Well, I've seen some videos where like a $2.5 million soccer field was put in an area where people are living in squalor. They don't have plumbing, they don't have running water, they don't have a well.
We have a soccer field.
But they have a soccer field for $2.5 million and a cultural center that they're locked. It's locked and they can't even get in there. Now, on the other hand, the missionaries that I work with, John and Christy Montpremier, of UCI in Bohac, Haiti, I was just there in July, and they had someone raise $10,000. They built an entire soccer field, and they had a camp for 120 children, food and lodging included, for $10,000. So you can do things a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Ooh, makes a difference who you know, huh?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, you can do a lot for very little over there.
For very little. Mm-hmm. I was a missionary nurse in Cape Haitian. And I was telling you that it was very hard up there because they didn't have the proper needles, didn't have the proper things. And me, who had nothing, I could come back to the States and raise needles for them.
Yeah, which is pretty easy to do.
Which is so easy to do. Now, you said about a man who couldn't read, and you got him.
Yes, I've actually partnered with Dalcom International, which I'm really excited about. I work with Frito from Widows Ministry of Bohac, so there's about 30 widows, and I've gone down there and we've sponsored luncheons for them. But one really stood out, and his name was Oldbert. He's 72 years old, and he carries his Bible, but he's blind. So he carries his Bible in hopes that somebody will read the Bible to him. So when I posted his picture on Facebook, my girlfriend Allison Coleman, she's also my Psalm 139 Love Board member, said we need to do something. So we got in touch with Galcom International. I met them recently, just a few weeks ago, with Tom Blackstone. And so he's partnering with us to do the solar audio Bible.
You can just hang that around your neck.
Yes, this actually works as an antenna or a lanyard. So if you are out in your garden, you can go ahead and listen to music. So it's both a Bible and a radio. There's the full Old Testament, full New Testament, and then there's actually a Bible college that's built in, which is amazing.
And is this in Haitian or in Creole or in...
There's actually 2,200 languages that you can order it in. Mine will, of course, be in Creole. But along with the Old and New Testament, you're going to get 90 Old Testament lessons, 90 New Testament lessons, and 30 life and marriage lessons. So these can actually work as a Bible study. And if you're not going to listen to the Bible, then it's tuned into Radio 4 VEH, which is really nice so they can listen to gospel music. They can't change it. It's only tuned to Christian music. Even better, there's a solar panel on the back. Most Haitians that I work with don't have electricity. It's very rare. So they can charge it here, or there is a rechargeable battery if that's needed. So this is like a really great deal.
Very much so, because he can hear the word in his language, which is wonderful. I also see you put a water a well
Yes.
over there.
Yes. This was before the charity formed. I knew that I was going to be doing a lot of work, and that's why I kind of formed the charity. But back in October, I visited a village called Monoc, Haiti, and the water would drip over algae and dirt over the side of a mountain into like a rock water bowl, and then the Haitians would wait in line. They'd basically get up at 4 a.m, wait, walk 30 minutes, scoop the water out, put it into their buckets, and walk home. So when I was invited to do a vacation Bible school by my friend Wilno, I went to the area, and to be honest, I had to turn away. It was painful to see that I wouldn't even let my dog drink something like that. So we did a video, along with my teammates Angela Priest and Marcia Whalen, my group from Haitian Hope, and God was so amazing. We raised $9,500, got a well drilled, and I got to see it in July. We pumped it, we sprinkled water on us, and there was people that were just praising and worshiping the Lord because it was the first time they'd ever had clean water.
Yes, I know. They washed in the creeks when I was there, and all that.
Now, cholera is still a big issue there, isn't it?
Now, in my area, it's not really bad. I know down south it's going to be really bad. Anytime that you have standing water, there has been cholera in my area, but now that they have the well, that's pretty much taken care of. Nobody's getting sick. They're really so grateful to have that. After the hurricane, though, some of the areas are surrounding in Bohac, we've got to be careful. So I'm actually sending these down. My church partnered with me, and I was really excited about this. I had 80 Sawyer water filters to take down on my first mission trip. And now that the hurricane happened, they were so generous to donate 50. So I'm going to be sending these out really soon.
Well, tell us how that works.
Okay, well, basically, everyone has a bucket because that's pretty much how you gather water. So they're just going to attach this on, and this water filter is so powerful. It'll filter out botulinum, typhoid, cholera. There's a bunch of tiny tubes in there and basically collects all the bacteria and dirt. You can literally take nasty river water and filter it through here, and it'll come out clean and pure and safe for them to drink. It filters over 100 gallons per day, which is awesome. So when I send these down, I've got 30 that'll be going down south into the hardest hit area, and then 20 is going to go to my area in Monoc. There's a few villages around that still don't have clean water.
So with one bucket like that, how many people can benefit from that?
Well, they said 3 families can share. What I'm going to do is make sure that the pastor finds the people that are really generous, maybe even somebody that doesn't mind standing at the river like a couple hours and just filtering out water for other people. These are a lifetime. If you take care of them, there's a little plunger in here. You plunge with clean water. You probably have to clean it out like every day or two. But yeah, these can last a lifetime, actually life-saving, because cholera is a killer.
Yes. So, besides that, now you took dresses down to the little girls.
Yes.
Isn't that fun? We did that in Indonesia, and they just, their eyes just lit up. Isn't that fun?
It's so much fun. I get to benefit. I have 2 people who partnered with me, 2 wonderful women. I actually just met them when we were up in Michigan, Tammy and Becky, and they take pillowcases and make dresses out of them, and they also make shorts for the boys. And they have went crazy. They actually gave me about 20 dresses just this last time when we went to meet them for the first time.
Wow.
And then every couple days I get tagged in a new post because they've got a new beautiful dress, and it's really nice. And they're grateful because I take pictures of all the little girls who get them. And they're like, thank you for blessing them. I'm like, I'm the one who gets to reap the benefits because I'm the one who gets to hand them out.
And that's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
What else do you give away to them?
To the children or just to the people?
To the people when you go.
On this last trip, we brought down a crate, 26 pounds of medication for the widows group that I work with, and 26 pounds for the people at Monoc, because it's really hard for them to be able to afford medication and food, and people in Monoc are so far away from the market. The market takes about an hour to walk to. So I took down medication, took down a volleyball net, took down 9 baseball bats. I took down diapers, clothes. We have someone that we absolutely love named Fabiz who loves to play his accordion. He's an amazing worship leader. And we got pretty much last minute donated to my friend Angela Priest. She was asking for an accordion, and we took down this beautiful accordion for him. And it was so nice.
When he gets his eyes just get big.
His eyes were really big because I saw him and I said, Fabrice, and Angie was with me. I said, I'm so sorry we weren't able to find an accordion. We tried really hard. And he's like, oh, my sister, it's okay. I said, well, you know what? God's a God of miracles. So that night they played for us because they've been playing for us 2008, 2009, 2014, 2015. He's there every year. So I had a smaller accordion that I had purchased. Angie got her big accordion. And at the end of the night, we came out from a hiding area and started playing the accordion. He started jumping up and down. He was so thrilled because the accordion is like a big instrument there. They love the accordion, and they know how to rock it out.
All right, very good. When you said like 26 pounds of a medication, what does that consist of? What type of medication?
Aspirin. Ointment, cough syrup, cough drops. Because of the way that they cook, sometimes they can't afford charcoal, so they cook over wood fire, and the wood fire blows the smoke up into their face. And sometimes they get throat cancer and die. They lose their vision, and things like cough drops and things like that. Yeah, are really bad. As my husband said, wanted to talk about the garden that we started. That was just recent. We had a beautiful plot of land donated, and I raised enough money through my donors to get a portable irrigation system. Another friend of mine came along and gave me the money for the fence. So we've started Grossley Gardens. It's in Monoc, and it's a garden to feed the malnourished kids that are there. So that's exciting.
So tell us a little bit more about Monoc. How big is Monoc? Where is it located? How many people are there?
Okay, if you kind of look at like Haiti's like a sea. He's laughing at me. And it's like right about in here. And Bohac and Cayman is a pretty, kind of a bigger area, but Monoc is out to the side, and it's got about 1,500 people in the village. That's how many people are going to benefit from the well.
That was probably a clinic where you just showed, and I don't know, they just had it on there. It made me think of the clinics in Cuba, because it looked a little like that.
We are going to be doing a clinic probably in June. I didn't have any like doctors with me at this time. I don't know what they might have showed, but we did bring down 250 eyeglasses, and the clinic was this for eyeglasses. Took a tract in French Creole. Can you read it?
Yeah.
And then they would just keep picking up glasses, but that went really well with the glasses, because a lot of people can't read. They can't read the Bible, and all they need is something simple as reading glasses.
Isn't that something? We raised reading glasses one time from the people. If we get reading glasses, like if you have glasses that you're not wearing them, if you bring them here, we can get them to you to take down there, right? Is that what you need?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you have any glasses that you want to bring here, just bring them. Do you still want little dresses or little...
I'll take all kinds of little dresses. Any little dresses, any boy shorts that you have. It just makes them so happy, because where I'm at, they have a little tiny market, but there's no grocery store. There's no gas station. A gas station is literally a milk jug of gas on a table on the side of the road. So they don't really ever get the chance to get beautiful, cute little new dresses.
So what's the culture there like? I mean, like here we're a republic, democracy, whatever. What is the government like there? Is it we're communist? Tell us a little bit about the culture.
Well, to be honest, they're right in an interim president. They constantly have it changing all the time. So I don't really know what their government does. I just know that when I'm there, the infrastructure really isn't set in.
Okay.
There's still like roads that you can only go maybe like 10, 15 miles an hour on. People bathing in the river.
Yeah. The road to Cape Haitian, they used to take this bus up there. Sometimes the buses would roll over. That was the scariest trip of my life.
I bet.
Because it would be, you look and there's no edge. And you're driving up the mountain. And there's no edge. And maybe there's a hole. Then they have these boys out there putting stones in the holes. Is that still that bad?
It's still pretty bad. I mean, when we go to the market, we go up this way. And then there's a road going out this way to Monoc. So they've got to go up here. Then they got to back in. Then they got to twirl around. Because it's like, the road goes up like this. So you just... literally, it's like a hairpin turn. You're going through rivers, pretty deep. But I'll be honest with you, I love being there, so it's actually kind of exciting. I get to go back to the market. Now I've been there enough times that it's
Now, you
without
talking in
people knowing.
Port-au-Prince or up in Cape Haitian?
Oh no, my area is in Bohac. I've never. The only time I've been to Cap Haitian or Port-au-Prince is when our plane lands there to go into Pion. So that's where we fly into, and it's a cow landing strip. And the plane has to go over once and scare the cows away, and then the plane comes back.
To land.
And then they land there, and then we got about a half-hour drive to the missionary compound, which is probably like maybe a mile, but it takes a long time because you can't go fast.
You can walk faster than that.
Are they still, and
Probably.
ever since the earthquake, they probably aren't doing this anymore, but they used to take and put tires and set them on fire around the Christians. Are they still doing that? That was some time ago.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
The area that I go to is pretty much Christian now, but I have had the opportunity to meet some voodoo priests, former voodoo priests that are now Christian. Amazing testimonies.
Voodoo priest. Oh, I remember that. One night we went out, when I was up there, I had to give a shot to a girl who had malaria, and outside was a witch doctor. Knew they still had the witch doctors there? Mm-hmm. And he was doing all kinds of junk on me because he didn't like that we were there. But we got to witness to him anyhow. We didn't lead him to Jesus, but we still told him that Jesus loved him and had a better plan for his life. But that was a little scary when you first went in there, knowing what all was going on outside.
Oh, I bet. The first time that I went in 2008, we did hear the drums. And 2009, not really. And then after the earthquake, a lot of the voodoo witch doctors repented.
Praise
and
God.
The missionary that I stay with, he's Haitian, John Montpremier, and his wife Christy's American. And he has went out and witnessed to a lot. And there's quite a few that are actually on his team now
That's
that are
wonderful.
full-fledged Christian. The one thing that's really interesting is that Jesus actually speaks to them personally in a dream, and he will say their name.
Isn't that
That
wonderful?
is like the recurring theme of the former voodoo witch doctors that I've met, and their testimonies would make your toes curl. It's amazing. That real Saul to Paul conversions. So, if you think that you have somebody that cannot be reached by God, trust me, they can, because you hear one of these testimonies from Nelson, and you're like, wow, God got him.
Isn't that good?
Yes.
Well, we're going to go to Thomasina, Germany, and she's going to be singing for you, and then we'll be back. She's saying, that's my Haitian dad, that's this.
That was Wilno's dad to the side, and basically I call him dad. And then when I spoke about giving the accordion to someone, it was to Fabiz. We call him the clapper because he will clap like this,
that.
and he is just such an amazing worship leader. And when you're there, I'm in my element. Oh, I didn't know you were going to play that.
Yeah, and there she
That's
goes. I know how that feels. I've been there. No, I'm not necessarily, in Haiti and different places, but when you have to see that again, it just really touches your heart because you remember all the memories. Yeah. Well, again, if you have eyeglasses, if you would like to make little dresses or have little dresses, and also boys' shorts
too would be
boys'
really
shorts
nice.
Or shirts, they need that.
Yep.
And that would just be so awesome if we could get enough together for her that we could send it down to her. And old eyeglasses you're not using, don't just leave them in your drawer. Do something with them. Let somebody have them that could see.
Absolutely.
Makes a difference.
Because like I said, there's actually no place to get eyeglasses, reading eyeglasses or prescription eyeglasses. There's really no eye doctor. And right now for Christmas, I'm collecting the dresses from my girls that have been making them, Tammy and Becky. And also I'm picking up some boy clothes on the way home. We're stopping in Ocala to visit a friend. But also for Christmas, we're raising money for a cooking center because the cooking is horrible there. In Monarch, it's 4 poles. There's tarps that are really beat down with holes and a tin roof, and the rain comes in. And these women are so precious, and they're bent over on the floor cooking,
floor.
and then if it's like the wood fire blows up into their face, and then that causes throat cancer, and they lose their eyesight and their vision. So we're going to be building a cooking center. We're having our second Christmas meal. We did celebrate Christmas last year. I sent down, that's my girlfriend Michelle. She actually led all those teens to the Lord in a salvation prayer. I happened to catch her on the outside.
My good.
Yeah.
It's worth it all, just for one.
Yes, it is. But it's great when you just see such a harvest of souls. And the children's hearts are so open. When I was there in October, I think maybe about 175 kids accepted the call of salvation. And I went back to John. I'm like, I made it very clear how you accept Jesus into your heart. I know that they knew what they were doing. And I said, John, do they never ask the kids for salvation? He said, no. He's like, for some reason, the pastors focus more on the adults. He's like, I'm so glad that you focused on the children.
Yeah, the children. If we don't get the children, if you get the children, you'll get the adults.
Absolutely.
But if you don't get the children, you'll lose the nation.
Exactly.
So it has to start with the children.
Yes, and there's so many kids that love the Lord, and I don't know how they do it, but they will clean their clothes in the river. But let me tell you, they show up, their outfits are crisp, they're white, they're bright, they're always in the cleanest clothes when they come to church, and they will be at church, and worship is no game. It is like an hour and a half long, and it's fabulous.
I can see you really love what you do.
Yes, I do. I was actually, I accepted Jesus when I was 9 years old, and at that very moment, he told me I'd be a missionary. It's all I talked about. Then I went to my church camp every year, and we would always have missionary day, and it was always cemented there because that one day, the missionary it was all missionaries that whole day. My heart would just hurt and tug, and I knew that's what I was supposed to do, went my prodigal daughter way. I was in the pig pen. I had problems with drinking, things like that. Thank God I've been sober for 16 years now, and but that seed never left me. So when I got the chance to go to Haiti and I went there, it was literally like, it was like home.
I know.
Like
and
home.
that's when you know you're where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Now you, as a young girl, wanted to be a missionary.
Yes, 9 years old, that's literally all I talked about was, Mom, I'm going to be a missionary. Mom, I'm going to be a missionary. Mom, I'm going to do mission work. And my mom said it's all I talked about for 3 months. I know that definitely the Lord called me to do that because I don't think many children at 9 years old are thinking about going away. But like I said, I went the prodigal daughter way. Just a lot, life circumstances, things like that, and got back with the Lord probably in I would say 2006, 2007. I have an awesome mentor, Katrina, who brought me really back into a relationship with God. I was a product of a one-night stand, and I had a hard time dealing with that and a hard time relating to God as a father, and he pulled me into that father relationship, that father-daughter relationship. Hence the name Psalm 139, Love, for the charity. I was sitting, and there was a God video playing, and I said, I know I'm supposed to minister to you, Lord. What do you want to hear? And the Holy Spirit spoke to me, Psalm 139. And that was, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in a secret place. Your eyes saw my unformed body when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. At that moment, just a flood of emotions were released. And God told me, he's like, you don't worry about your earthly father that you've never met. I'm your father. So that Psalm 139 has a special meaning. And then my husband, he's such a great support system. When it came to name the charity, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was thinking about this and that. I finally calmed down, and I said Psalm 139, love. And he's like, what did you say?
I said, basically, I knew what you were going to say, but a lot of times what I have to do is I have to let her figure it out on her own. It's like I know her all too well, and she went out on the balcony, and she just took quiet. I'm like, you need to go out and pray about it. And that's what she did. When she came in, I'm like, okay, I know what her favorite scripture is. I know what it is. So I knew where we were going. I just needed her to get there.
And see, isn't that good for you not telling and just wanting her to get there?
I let her be her.
Yeah. When we went with the crosswalk, we walked for 8 years with carrying a wooden cross. And then when we got to Washington on our first walk, the Lord said, when you get to Washington, I'll show you. And there was a sign that said crosswalk, and Russell said, there's our ministry name. And it was so cool. We never saw it before then. It was probably everywhere we went, but we didn't see it. Thank you so much for being here. And again, if you'd like to help with this Haitian mission, let us know. We'll talk to you about it. Bye-bye.